What's going on, y'all? BigBossFabo, we are back with a video, man. We're doing a reaction to the View push insane narrative on Karmelo Anthony murder case. So, I mean, I don't know where y'all been, but if y'all been living under a rock, Karmelo Anthony just got sentenced about 2 weeks ago, maybe close to 3 weeks ago, in association with the Austin Metcalf case, the situation that happened in Dallas, Texas, to where he actually stabbed an 18-year-old boy. I believe he was sentenced to 35 years or so. A lot of outbreak, a lot of talk amongst the community, amongst people, and obviously the media picking it up. So I guess the View is painting some crazy wild work narrative, but we're gonna go ahead and hop into the video, man. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section down below.
Now to ABC, and the ladies of The View are still pumping out misinformation, just flat out lies about the Karmelo Anthony case. They cannot stop with the race baiting and falsehoods to push the frankly insane narrative that the murderer, Karmelo Anthony, was the victim here. He was just acting in self-defense. Here is Dumb and Dumber. First, you're going to hear from Whoopi, then Sonny Austin.
He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, which he's appealing. The case has a lot of people divided. Some people believe that race was a factor in the trial because there were no black jurors.
This, the kid that died, and I have so much empathy for him and his family's loss. That kid was 200 pounds. This kid was 130 pounds. And so, and the other kid was also taller than he is. He was the only black kid under the tent. And the victim here had his twin brother with him, who was also a very large person. If you don't fear for your life, if you weigh 130 pounds, I weigh 130 pounds. Facing somebody that's 200 pounds, I would be terrified of that. So I don't understand why self-defense was rejected by this jury.
Dear God.
That's crazy, right? Like, immediately one with sense and, I mean, maybe a certain moral compass, certain ethics behind them, kind of like think to themselves, regardless, would I take somebody's life over the fact that I'm being bullied? We don't even really know the ins and outs, but they're saying that the Metcalf kid was a bully picking on Karmelo. But my thing is, you know how the old folks are always saying they used to duke it out back in the day? They used to just box it out. Why couldn't it just be a fist fight? Right? Like, I'm not trying to invalidate somebody getting picked on, bullied, but I think killing somebody's an extreme no matter what color you are. And that's what's crazy to me, that some people don't see it as that, and they're trying to make it a race thing. So that's just me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Don't even know where to start with that. Just about everything she said was a lie, including the claim that she feels great sympathy for the victim, even as she defames him in death. What a callous witch, really, a callous witch. For the record, Karmelo Anthony was not the only black kid under that tent. In fact, a black witness testified against him. Karmelo is not 130 pounds. His own high school bio lists his weight as over 160 pounds. And frankly, it doesn't matter. I don't care if he weighed 95 pounds. He brought a deadly weapon to a track meet, instigated a fight, and then stabbed an innocent kid in the heart. As for Austin Metcalf's twin being there, is Sonny now suggesting that Karmelo Anthony had something to fear from him? The twin who held his dying brother in his arms as he bled to death? You know, we mock The View, we laugh at the lunacy, but when you break it down, these leftist loons are nasty pieces of work. Let's bring in Center for the American Experiment president and co-founder of the popular Powerline blog, John Hinderaker. John, how much longer will the Metcalf family have to deal with these deliberate lies and misinformation, and why does the ABC allow it to go to air?
Rita, I've tried to think of another case where the victim of a murder has been viciously libeled and blamed for his own death in public media. I can't think of one. It's almost unbelievable. And of course, it's a complete misrepresentation of
What's wild is this is something else. This is an underlining issue that people aren't willing to speak up about. It's a race thing. Let's keep it honest, man. Racism's been a thing throughout the history of time. But I mean, when you have races taking sides like this, like I made a video about this on my other channel where I was seeing reactors, do content on, black people that were saying that they're going to take out white people, after Karmelo got sentenced, right? When the news came out, they were pretty much saying it was on site. So, and vice versa, man. It's not people like to say it's not a race thing, but those are people who are blatantly blind. There are issues in the country, when it comes to injustice and things of that sort. Like, it's only the people that I can call a spade without, playing a victim. You know what I'm saying? But when people, like when you call it out or address it, people, oh my God, that's not what really it is. They can't have a conversation validating something that's an actual issue while maybe having a disagreement or even debating on the topic. They just completely sweep it under the rug. And that's my thing. Like, racism exists. Just admit that. The people who are always like, man, I don't see color. Like, that's great from a position of you accept people for who they are. But the world has an issue when it comes to that. And I'm talking about people who, the individuals who are super ignorant. They don't want to get to understand the person. They don't believe that there's good people in different shapes, sizes, and ethnic backgrounds. So that's a reality we live in. But if you can't even admit that, that's where the problem is.
The facts. The View is a disgrace, and I think it's time for normal people to start putting pressure on ABC to do away with that program.
It is just so disgusting. Everything about this case, and the way it's been used by race baiters, the way it's been misrepresented, it really is so ugly and so callous, because there is a grieving family here. A young man, an innocent young man, was killed, and his family are grieving his death whilst dealing with these lies about him. Now, let's go to the Middle East.
And just because somebody gets killed unjustly doesn't mean that they're innocent. You know what I'm saying? My heart goes out to the Metcalf family, but let's call it what it is. Just the media, the same on this side, tries to paint an innocence picture. He was just an innocent young man. Well, if the kid was bullying somebody else, right? He's not innocent. Does it deserve death? No. But you can't paint a complete monster on one end and then, make somebody look like they was a sweetheart on the other only because they lost their life. Because there's people that die every day that are wicked people. But since they're dead or since they've passed away, we've got to paint them to be something. And I'm not saying nobody knows who Austin Metcalf was as a person. But these are the tough conversations people can't have. People always like to tiptoe around things. And I think this situation has turned Austin Metcalf's dad into, obviously he lost a son, but he's very angry. We've seen the posts and him going live on Facebook, and I mean, I think there's a clip saying I wasn't a racist before, but now I am, something like that. So people have taken or actually brought him to a certain point, and now he's just letting loose. And he can speak his mind. Nobody's getting mad at somebody for being honest and speaking how they feel. I mean, he lost a son. But people poking at each other and people trying to stir people up, and like how people say rage bait nowadays, this is the world we live in. A straight circus.
Situation there, it seems to be changing by the hour. Right now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Abu Dhabi. He's going to be meeting with the leaders of the UAE, Kuwait and Bahrain as the Trump administration ramps up talks with key Gulf allies.
What's this got to do with the Karmelo Anthony case? I guess we're done talking about that subject matter. But, hey, comment down below, let me know y'all's thoughts on this. In terms of The View, right? That network, or who I guess it is on CBS, because that gentleman was just mentioning how they should be canceled. But that show has historically been the topic of just, I don't know, senseless conversation. There's no valid points. It's just a gossip show. And when you have a show like that that's just about talking, like, it's one thing if you have I think they have guests at some points in time, but they don't really ask them good questions. You know, and they try to antagonize and point the finger, and sometimes they try to get like a viral clip or whatever it is, because sometimes they say some crazy things and they'll ask out of the box questions, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of substance behind a lot of what's going on there. So you can only imagine when it comes to them talking about situations that it comes from anything societal, that they're not going to really have any in-depth points, and they're probably going to say things that's going to actually stir the pot a little bit. So comment down below, let me know y'all's thoughts. I mean, the viewers aren't the first people taking this type of standpoint. Now that social media is such a commonality, right? We got people who are taking a TikTok saying the wildest things. So it's not like the View is disassociated from a certain group of people. I mean, the host of Sky News kind of called it what it is. She called it just a leftist type of take. It's a leftist take. This is their standpoint. So maybe she's associating it with a particular group, but there's people all over social media taking their takes, and whether they're leftists or not, some people are just making it a color type of thing, a race type of thing. So it's wild to me. It's wild to me. I think with the height of social media and just the media in general and how everything is just running with a headline, we're seeing extreme division. I'll put it that way. Like I said, the racism has always been a thing, but I think we're living in a racially heightened time. No matter if you want to call it what it is, it's just crazy to see how people are openly, and social media has allowed that, openly saying some things that they've probably always felt a certain way on. So I'm not mad at people speaking their honesty, but I mean, there's so much animosity across the country and people just hating each other that it's not a positive thing, man. So, you know, I'm all about peace, love, you know, being Christ-like and treating others and having a certain level of empathy and just having a good moral compass is the bottom line. And, you know, I think that prayers need to go out for the world. We're living in just very destructive times, man. So comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this, man. Peace, love, prosperity, man. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Stay encouraged, man. And spread love. Spread love, man. Treat people with the sense of respect, with the sense of honor, until they tell you or show you otherwise. But always just take things with a grain of salt is the best way to put it, man. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay sharp. And we'll see y'all in the next video.